Hey YouTube, this is Eric. So my dad, my wife, and I visited the Sage Wall in Montana last weekend. It would have been May 27th. Um, and it was more than I expected. I'd seen videos about it, a couple videos about it, but to be actually see it in person was breathtaking. It was definitely a wow moment. It's like just a half-mile hike to get in. I'll give you directions at the end of the video, but I just kind of want to get straight into these this rock wall. So here's me standing at the rock wall. I should have been standing back here. This right here is the biggest stone in the wall. This is my dad. My wife's taking the picture. It was raining a bit that day, drizzling while we were there, but no matter, it was still pretty. It was a blast. So, and I'm just going to click through some of these pictures here. This is where the wall begins, and you can kind of like perhaps see how this was man made. And there's like a little, you'll see these on the rest of the wall, but they like these little channels. This is a small one, and then as we go along up the wall, it becomes more distinctly and clearly made by man. Here's another one of those little channels that I kind of cut it out of the picture. Now look at this wedge that they fit in here. I mean, if this isn't made by man, then I'm Elmer Fudd. Look at this one here, also how it just kind of grooves in and then comes out, and then there's another wedge right here. No, it's the same one. And look at this interesting cut. These stones fit together nearly perfect. And then there's this, it almost looks like a cut right through here. And it looks like a few stones were packed in there. So this is the biggest stone right here. Again, I cut it off. I wish I'd gotten the full picture of it, but it's the largest one. I forget how many tons it is, but it's, I challenge any one of our stature to move any of these stones. They're they're enormous. I'm going to show you a few like interesting stones that we saw on the walk on the way in and on the way out at the end of this. But I just kind of wanted to get your eyes on this first because this is the main attraction. Now this is another one of those. Let me just call it a channel. Maybe this fell off of the top there, but if you'll notice, this is rounded down. These are flat, right? And I don't know why it's sloped like that. And look how these stones are tightly packed in against each other. And it seems like they like to use that wedge shape. It's fascinating. We got to walk up on top of it. I walked out back, further up and look for artifacts. So look at this capstone. It's not straight, it's straight from here to there, and then it curves downward. This little piece that they use to fill in the gap, it looks like. And here's that slope down stone again, just a little closer. And next are some of the stones we saw on the way in. So this is just an interesting one. Like it was formed. It took the form of the lower stone. The upper one took the form of the lower stone. Now this stone is just this is the very bottom of that rock wall. And I wish I'd noticed this little area right here because I would have taken a closer look. It looks like tooling to me, but this one just had an unusual shape. It's sitting on this stone and it arches up and comes over here. And then there's like a separate stone on top. These stones were up from the sage wall, And what caught my eye on these is the markings here and here, and you see a little bit here, there, there, and there. Just very peculiar, in my opinion. Look at this one. It almost looks like it was folded up onto itself. Very unusual. My wife spotted this one on the way out. We were hiking on our way out. I scooped this out with my hand to make this one look more distinct, but there are 6 impressions and they're all in like not a perfect crescent, but 1, 2, almost evenly spaced, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could be nothing, but I thought it was just very unusual. And this one almost looks like a mushroom with that capstone on it. And just to give you the perspective again, me standing at the rock wall, I wish I'd been standing by the big one, but nevertheless, it's a treat if you can get to visit this sage wall. There's a $40 fee to hike in. It's at the Sage Mountain Center. I don't think they mind if I gave you their phone number because they kind of run a little business there. It's 494. The area code is 406 494 9875. The address is 79 Sage Mountain Trail. So if you're coming from, like, let's say you're coming from Dillon, Montana, and you drive north towards Silver Star, and you make a left after Silver Star. There's a highway there. I think there's some kind of traffic light there, and it'll go north. So you make a left after Silver Star. You'll be heading north, and you take that all the way down to the bottom of the hill where it tees into Highway 2. Make a left on Highway 2 and drive a few miles until you see Quarry Road. Make a right and just follow the signs for the Sage Mountain Center. It's all the way up in the back. Beautiful hike. You'll want to talk to a man named Chris there. Pay in advance. You got to sign a waiver, and you can connect with him. Let me see if I have some contact information for him. I don't know that I do. Yeah, not handy, but you can find him on the internet or call the number. And then you can Venmo him $40, mail him a check, or I suppose you could bring cash with you. But there you have it. Enjoy.